Okay. Anything you say may be used against you in court. Do you understand?
Yes.
You have the right to the presence of an attorney before and during any questioning. Do you understand?
Yes.
If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you free of charge before any questioning if you want. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. So just to make it clear, I didn't force you to come here. I haven't forced you to talk to me. You decided you want to talk to me freely and voluntarily, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, before we get started, what we're going to do is, obviously, when this type of stuff happens, we write lots of search warrants and do lots of investigative work, and which I have done in this case. Okay. I do have a search warrant to obtain your DNA and to obtain your fingerprints and stuff. Okay. The DNA is just done by a swab. Basically, I'll have somebody swab. She'll take pictures of you. We'll do it right here. It won't be in public. Okay. And then she'll just swab the inside of your mouth and get a little DNA out of it, and we'll use that obviously to cross-reference that stuff in the system. Okay. So she's coming over now to do that.
And put me in the system.
I'm sorry?
To put me in.
No. We will use that DNA. It's not going to go in the system. Okay. Let me rephrase that. We will use that DNA to eliminate the other people at the scene and that type of stuff. Okay. So that's all it's going to be. It's just going to be used to eliminate you from the scene. Okay? Which we know you weren't there. Okay? Alright? Okay. So let me see if she's here. And we'll get that going real quick and then we can start talking. Alright? Is Jackie here? Can you let me know when she gets here? She's not here yet, so we can get started and then we can just stop whenever she gets here. Okay. So we've had multiple conversations up to this date, and today is the 19th of November, and it's about 4:45. Okay, so I know that through this investigation there's been several times when you haven't been honest with me, and we need to get to the honesty right now, okay?
I'm sorry.
It's okay, I understand you were probably upset and scared, and you didn't know what to say. So, I know a lot of information, and I can't give this information out, obviously through the investigation, because I do not want that to be revealed, okay? So I know tons of stuff about all this that's gone on, and I want you to tell me the truth, okay? I need the truth, okay? So let's start out with Kate. So everything, so your marriage, did you lie about me that you married Robert, you met him when you were 18, you guys lived in Prescott, moved to California?
No, that's true.
Okay. So then let's talk about when you started working at Costco. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
How long ago was that?
I was there for almost 3 years.
And you remember when you started working there?
It was, I believe November of 2012.
November 2012. So a couple years ago. Okay. So tell me about it. What did you do there?
I was a demo girl. The samples.
So you do the samples and stuff like that? And did you actually work for Costco or work for an independent person?
It was an independent company contracted through Costco.
Okay. And so this company would hire you you were hired pretty much, you work full time or part time?
Part time.
Okay. So you're working part time, doing the sampling stuff, which I actually always feel really guilty when I grab a sample at Costco. I'm like, anyway, they're good at samples, but anyway.
I have no idea how people come there and get lunch every day.
Well, that's awesome. So,
Samples.
making samples and lunch, yeah.
Yeah.
So I understand you met Jonathan. And how'd that go? Talk about when you guys first met.
When we first met, it started, he was wearing a firefighter shirt, and I know other firemen, so I'm a people person, so I started talking, and then he came in there all the time. I saw him all the time in Costco.
What was he doing there?
Shopping.
Shopping? For the fire department?
He shopped for the fire department and just shopping. Costco shopping.
So you guys ended up becoming friendly? And this is, when did you meet him? So you started in November. At what point do you think you met him?
I start before November then because I want to say I met him in December of 2012. I am being honest, I'm bad with dates, so I can't think of exactly when I had met him, but I've been working there a little while, so it had been maybe into the next year then, because I had been there a little while.
So maybe early 2013?
Yeah.
Okay. And so it started out by him coming and getting samples from you, and you guys just started having a normal conversation. What kind of conversations did you guys have? Just basic stuff like, hey, where do we work at?
Yeah.
What else?
Just, fire department stuff, just like his calls and, like I said, I'm a people person and I talk to a lot of people for hours in there, believe it or not. Some people come in there just for the demo girls to talk, and so just fire department stuff, like what's your best call, that kind of thing, and then just kind of kept talking.
What other stuff did you guys talk about?
Life and just, well, if we're going back to him, there was other party that we were going to, and it was actually was friends of friends of friends. Okay, so our friends were having a party, and they were fire department people.
Oh.
And so that's what started it. I mean, that's how I gave him my phone number, and I said, oh, do you know this couple? And he said, oh yeah, I think so. Like, are you going to that party kind of thing? And then he's like, well, maybe I'll see you there. Like, what's your number? And I had never given out my number to like a stranger before, and I did. I instantly felt it was like, oh my gosh. And I had thought prior to that I had mentioned Robert, and I always do. That's like my protection, especially with other men. Like I always brought up Robert right away. So I had never done that before, and I felt bad. And but then he called and messaged me, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like I got myself into, so I didn't answer it or respond. And he apologized. He was like, are you married? I'm so sorry. And then I put, yeah, I thought that you knew that. It's no problem. It's okay. And that's how that started.
So you gave me your phone number. And you guys never talked about you being married? Because you guys talk about life. But do you think...
Well, this was in the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah. And then that's when we started, talking about life and more, like a friendship,
Did you feel guilty about that?
The funny thing, after I told him I was married, he was sincerely, sorry. And I felt bad too. I was just like, oh yeah, no worries. It's okay. It's all good. I didn't feel that bad because I'm social. I talk to a lot of people, and Rob and I were open. Like Rob was pretty casual with me and my relationship with others.
So he was pretty secure. And he wasn't an insecure type. And how often did you come into the Costco?
Came in quite a bit.
In Victorville? Like quite a bit, like as in once a week, twice a week?
Twice, 3 times a week maybe.
I go to Costco once in a month and I'm like, So, okay. He was there obviously to see you. He wanted to talk to you. So after you gave him the phone number for the first time, and he knew that you were married, how much did you guys talk after that? How frequently?
It wasn't a lot in the beginning, you know, and then we just started talking a lot more,
Okay.
you know.
All right. Now,
We formed a relationship.
okay. Like talking in person and on the phone and stuff like that. How about any meetings after work? Did you ever meet with them after work?
I would see him, yeah, but just for short, you know, just. So a lot of times he'd come in later and then end up like walking out with me, kind of thing.
Okay.
So.
Now, so he would come visit you, you got to talk there, and then he'd walk you out to the car or whatever. So, at what point did it become a sexual relationship?
A year later, so we talked for
2014? So this year? If you
before that.
If you met him in 2013.
Probably, let's say, talked for like, I am honestly super bad with time and dates. Let's say, let's just round about 8 months maybe. Or 6 months or something like that. Like it wasn't right away, anything like that, you know. It was,
She's here real quick, we'll do this real quick and then we'll finish that.
okay.
So, technical investigator.
Okay. Hi.
She's going to do stuff that I don't know how to do, so I'll let her do that stuff. None of this is intrusive, it's very simple stuff, okay? Oh yeah, 2 months ago.
Pull this up into your chin like that. And I'm just going to take my deep little. Okay, do you want overalls too or no?
No, I don't think we need it.
No, you're funny.
It's 1970s.
I know. It's old.
Yeah, this is way past my life. I couldn't do that. I don't know how. I don't know what to do with this.
Okay, I'm going to actually have you, I'll have you sign this first, and we'll have you do 3 cards in case I mess it up. Because you'll have it in front of you afterwards. So, go
Do you need
ahead.
me to do anything for you?
No.
How about the subject wipe your hands up when you're done?
Okay, so you're gonna sign right there on the X, right there, and then right there. She might need to wash her hands afterwards because I'm gonna use black powder.
Can we use, basically like wipes?
You can, but it's still be messy. I'm using black powder. So.
Well, okay, we can just take a brush and do it. Can you go through the restroom?
Yeah, oh sure.
I promise I'm not gonna run to talk to Randall.
I bet I can outrun that.
I bet you could too.
Okay, go ahead and stand up. And I'm gonna get your hands real quick. Hold on, don't. And just relax. Okay, I'm gonna have to do that one over, so just relax your hands, okay? I should have to take your jacket off. It's okay.
Oh, I have to. We got that.
Straight out. We're going to do that one more time. Sorry. That pinky finger. Hold on. Okay, that's better. Now it's up to you because I'm going to use black powder on you, so we can either try and take your jacket off because it's going to be on you. So it's up to you.
You want, how about roll them up, please?
Yeah, if you want to roll or sing,
Okay.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, that's, okay. Yeah, because it'll mess.
And then after this, we'll watch. I won't just, you can, she can go with it.
Thank you.
Okay, and what I'm gonna do is have you put your hand down after I put the black powder on, and then we'll lift it up and I'll pull it off, okay?
Okay.
Okay, let me see, it is black powder, graphite powder.
It's just like, that's the color.
So it's graphite powder.
That's how you check for fingerprints and stuff.
Well, it's so that we can roll the prints. We're not checking the prints, we're rolling them.
Like when we're, like, if we go to a burglary and there's like a car with prints on it, it's kind of some of the stuff they use to pull the prints up fast.
Oh, so you dust it and you see if there's a print on it.
Yeah. I've, not my expertise.
Okay, so down. All right, now put your hand up.
And that's what you do? You go to the scene with them and...
With the detectives.
Uh-huh.
Alright, let's see how this turns out. Okay. And then after you wash your hands, I'm going to have you sign these, okay? But for obvious reasons, not really. This is really messy. We'll just, we'll do 2 on each one. Bother her doing it again. Okay, we'll do the same hand. Okay, straight down, same thing. Put your hand up. What I'm going to do is just have you put your thumb down. Okay, and lift it. Okay, we'll just do the other hand.
When you're washing your hands, if you can use the restroom, I'll use the restroom.
Thank you.
Just in case.
Yeah, I do. Very good.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Do that again.
Yeah, that might have got on your jacket. If it would have been rolled down. So that's good.
Oh, it would.
Yeah, it probably would have, yeah.
Yeah, I need to go back there. Okay, I'll take you to the bathroom real quick and then, we can do that.
So, yeah.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I'll just sign it. Go ahead and don't see. I'll just have to sign it. Okay, here's, you know what, actually, let me do it right here. Just try not to get it on the pen itself so we don't have to redo off. And then your signature. Okay, alright. And here's one. Here's a sheet. She's just signing my work.
Oh, I never actually got that done. These ones Give me this? Oh, okay.
Do you need my whole name?
I think the gloves are in there. Yes.
I've seen it done before. I've been present for a week.
Is something different or?
And I'll put those. There should be gloves in there. I was just gonna, yeah. Thanks. Yeah, it does, but you're gonna put this after you swap it and you'll do the inside and cheek. You're gonna put it on here, they are a little different. And then just pull this down, so you want your.
It's not going to fit in there. Right, it won't fit the spot that's on the card.
Oh, no, you're gonna take the part off.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do basically is just go up your mouth and I'll rub this around your crown. So I'll take, yeah.
And you can do the cheek.
And then place it on top of there, push it down.
And then you'll seal it in the box.
Just this?
Yes. And then you'll put the card back in there too.
Okay. Okay. Let's get you good enough. Push down? Okay, what's this?
Yeah. Because what they're actually going to check is the card.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know, like when you do it at the hospital? Yeah. Okay.
Well, I can say I helped.
You did it.
And then I think I guess you use your fingerprint too.
And you know what? Is this, I think it's on here. You want to do a footprint on here? No, it's on this one.
Right.
Oh, right there.
No, this stuff, still won't damage your quotes or anything, okay? Okay. I do that.
Left arm and right thumb.
I've seen some leeches before. Which side you use? We'll try it. Right thumb, just take it down further. Okay. And then just put your right thumb in there. Cool. You see the pro, that's right. Left thumb?
I want to be a pro with this, Detective Meyer.
Hold on, let me put it down for one.
I'm not good.
Yeah.
Then I'll have you sign this for me, okay? You can do it, man. I want to get you on.
Do you need anything else from me? Oh, okay, thank you.
Have a good night.
You too. Thank you. Thanks.
we were at.
Okay.
So you said it was about 8 months to a year, and then,
6 months,
I'm sorry,
maybe 6 months.
maybe 6 months?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay. So that's when it started to become a sexual relationship? Did you guys have a relationship at your house, or was it at Costco, or was it at a motel?
It was at our house and sometimes, wherever.
Okay. And how often did you guys meet up?
A couple times a week, probably.
Okay. And so this was 6 months after, I'm sorry?
Sometimes not. Sometimes like once a week or
Just, what was happening.
just, yeah.
Okay. So this was 6 months after you met, or? Okay. So if you met in maybe early 2013, I'm sorry, 2014 this year, right?
No, it's been over a year. So probably like a year and a half time.
Because at the end of 2012 is right, I think you met him early 2013. Okay. So mid 2013. Now, basic friendship relationship, sexual relationship, maybe once or twice a week. And then, and obviously this relationship goes on and on. You guys talk about all kinds of stuff, right? Tell me about, did Rob ever suspect anything?
No, Robert had found my phone.
Tell me about that.
And he wasn't, he's like, who's this dude? And he'd seen him out once before. He'd only met him once. So he was just like, what's up? How did this go down? And I just kind of told him like, I don't know. It just happened, and Jonathan apologized to Robert. Talked to him. He apologized to him, and we felt bad, And I felt bad. And Rob and I just kind of kept going, And Jonathan and I stopped talking. And I saw him in Costco, probably, let's say, 3 months later. Something like that. And honestly, detective, I'm so bad with time, it could have been give or take, or, but it was a little while. And I hadn't seen him.
When did Rob find out, and do you remember when it was, what month it was? Or about what time? So this is going to be in 2013 you found out, right?
June.
June of 2013. And what happened that day? And how did you, when you found out about it? What was going on?
He was going to have the next day off. We had been out the night before, and I kind of had too much to drink.
Oh.
And I wasn't paying attention to my phone. So we'd been out the night before, and he'd already taken the next day off, and he was kind of like, we had, I hate talking about this. This is why I know. Like Rob and I just had sex. Like, he kind of forgave me. It was kind of okay. And he'd ask me questions, and I just kind of would answer them as he asked, and we didn't talk about it. He didn't like problems,
Now, when he asked you these questions, did you tell him the truth, or did you just tell him a little bit of information?
A little bit, not in detail, but I would answer his questions, and I seriously didn't. I was just like, I don't know how it happened, I did tell you, we were distracted with so many things, friends and partying, and we have had open relationships. You know, I threw that at him. You know, so this was prior, and parties and just kind of like that kind of a lifestyle. More like, now the kids weren't exposed to that firsthand. They were they were exposed to me drinking, you know, like too much. Mom's sleeping, just a little bit, kind of thing.
Right.
So,
Kind we talked about your open relationship before, and you told me you didn't have one.
I was straight, and I didn't want any of this to come out, you know.
Did you think this would ever come out?
I was, I've been tripping, you know, and it's shameful, it's terrible, and I'm feeling it.
I understand. Did you guys have open relationships such as you would meet other people at parties and stuff and have sexual encounters? Or was it okay, what? Okay.
And that was just kind of like a Rob and I thing we had years ago. There was this couple, and that's where it started. We'd never done anything like that.
Right.
You know? And we were new to Silver Lakes. Robbie was in kindergarten. And yeah, we met this kooky couple. I mean, the chick for sure, the woman. And, but I am a people person, so is Robert. And that was just a crazy experience with her and her husband.
What are their names?
Nicole and Jill.
Oh.
Have you heard about them?
No.
Well, they lived out there, so Robbie was in kindergarten. He's 11 now, so.
Oh, okay.
But that's where the door opened, and Robert was, I hate to talk about him, Ellie, you know, because I don't want to dishonor him. I feel like this is such a dishonor to him. But
He was a man.
yeah, so he was all about it, you know, to the end of it, like whatever we had to do. And this went on, and oh my gosh, I've never had such troubles, you know. And I told Robert, like, we should not get in too deep with these two, you know. Well, they're divorced now. But just kind of one of those things that just kind of turned into like it's just sexual agreement kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
But then like I don't be like that kind of stuff online, you know, and just pretty much with any. That was kind of just then. It was just kind of like, oh, Brina's cool with it, you know. So.
Did you okay having any other relationships, like outside your marriage, without you knowing?
No, she was one that, you know, she was the only one that I knew. That's what I was wondering too, if there was.
And I was honest with you. I don't know of any other relationships like that. So, did you think it would be okay, I mean, with Rob, if you were seeing Jonathan, because, you know, you guys kind of had that open relationship? Or did you feel...
I guess that's how I justified it, you know? It's kind of like I was just feeling like my own thing, and he was so busy. And he was a just worker and people pleaser and party and not wanting anything to be messy, even though by the end, you know, I just talked to him. We have to kind of refocus some things, and he wasn't. Now Robert would have done anything, you know, as far as in the moment. don't know why not. I just,
Did you not want to tell him about the hard days because you didn't want him to realize that you miss Rob? You missed your old way of life? Yes?
yeah, and I would tell him I tell him I miss Rob a lot.
What did he say?
I'd say, yeah, of course you do. You spent so much years with him. I didn't even think about this. It's like every day, just something different. Like just trying to get by, and I feel like we've been doing better.
We as
The
in
kids and I.
kids.
The kids and I. But then he's coming to play pretty
Quickly. Have you introduced the kids to Rob? Or to Rob?
Oh yeah. He's been around. He's been around.
He's a buddy, huh?
Yep. They. Yeah. Yep. He's been over. Watched movies. Making plans. And yeah, I thought this is so crazy. How could Rob be gone? How could Rob be gone? And then we all just kind of,
Together. He's over your house, he's hanging out, he goes to go to movies, going to lunch. Kind of falling into that relationship role. So I need to get some clarification on a few things. Back before Rob got murdered, okay? But before we talk, I want to let you know that you have to be totally honest with me.
okay,
This is so freaking serious. I can't tell you how serious this is.
okay, I got you. I'm with you.
If you're lying to me, it's going to be very difficult for you.
Okay.
Okay. Before the marriage, or before the death of Robert, you guys have had conversations, multiple, 7,333 conversations. April 15th when you got the burner phone. Got that burner phone on April 15th. From April 15th to September 1st, there were 7,333 phone calls, text messages. I've done my homework. Okay. You guys have had to have some sort of conversation discussing your unhappiness in your marriage and your divorce or possible divorce, and then at what point did Jonathan say that he could probably take care of it for you?
He never said you can take care of it.
Never.
It was like, no, like we could be together,
And
live
he's-
for God.
So he said we could be together and live for God. What did you think about that?
I just kind of lived, I thought I would think about it, but it was like I was living like two lives,
So a life with Robert and then a life with Jonathan.
in a way,
And whenever he would talk to you,
I would go along,
I'm sorry, what?
we talk about things, and being together with the kids, talk about the kids, raising the kids, we talked about that a lot. How badly things were being done,
So he's saying you were a bad parent and Rob was a bad parent? Because he obviously knows. He's 26 years old and he, you know what I mean?
he never, I felt foolish. He would never say, you're a bad parent. Rob's a bad parent. I don't think he would ever say that, but a lot of, need for God in our
And that was his way in. He started to make you feel guilty about the life you were living, about not living for God. He gets his way into your mind and your heart. And then it makes you start believing this stuff about you, which probably wasn't true. Do you remember a specific date before Bob was murdered that he told you, Jonathan said, we could be together and live for God?
Do I remember a date?
Yeah, like maybe how, like a week before, in a month before, all the time?
More than we talked about, living for God more. I'll say maybe a month or two, maybe 3.
Did you know that he had planned to murder your husband?
No.
You didn't know that?
No, did not know that he planned on murdering Robert.
Because he did.
I can't. I think I want it to just be a lie. Like there's no way. I can't.
After the murder, has he talked to you about it and told you that he did it?
No, he never said.
Never ever?
He never said, I killed Robert.
Do you know that he has 2 firearms that are the same caliber as the one that killed Robert?
Same caliber. What's that?
The same size bullet, same exact bullet.
What kind of gun?
Semi-automatic handgun. You use the restroom or anything? No. Good? You want to go to the restroom real quick?
I knew that John had done it.
Tell me about that.
I just knew that he was an investigator for the fire service.
And what kind of investigations did you do?
Fire investigations, but he could carry a gun.
Arson stuff? How long have you been doing that?
Not that long. He's new to the course,
He's done a lot of research.
I doubt it. He has.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's been telling you all about my investigation, about how my investigation goes, what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Totally feeding you a lot of bullshit about the way things go.
And for some reason, it made me feel better. Like, I don't know why he made me feel better. He made me feel better just talking with him and just like, I felt like the whole affair thing was just gonna put our family in me. You know what I mean? Like I just felt like the whole thing was a fair in my head. A fair. And you go like that. I just thought, how horrible would that be?
Unfair?
Unfair, yeah.
You ever know anybody who's had an affair in their marriage?
Yeah, but I feel like it felt so bad right now but their spouse wasn't murdered, So
Right.
it was like, oh my gosh, this is like such horrible timing. This is horrible timing. I don't know why this has happened. I don't know why the timing is like this, And then when you start feeling, some, questioning and
I can tell you that
So, and we have discussed it a lot, kind of like what to, go over and say.
why did you discuss that? About what to go over, what to say to me. Why did you guys have to discuss that? It's just an affair.
Would know to take off, not to, not for the affair to be about. That's just kind of like, we've never had an affair. Nope. We have a great marriage, perfect, everything's perfect. And then, we have talked about, just the lifestyle that I led, but so how can I think about it? I don't know.
I can tell you that this wasn't about the affair. All these conversations Jonathan's had with you about not talking to me and not telling me the truth, that was to conceal him committing the murder. That's all it was. It wasn't about the affair. It was about him.
I felt like it was about the affair. I felt like it's so amplified because Matt was murdered, and
But I mean, it wasn't about the affair. He's trying to tell you all this information and feed you all this bullshit because he didn't want it to be revealed that he was having an affair with you. Because he knows that you're going to come look for him and talk to him. You know what I mean? That's what this all is about. All these conversations, this 100 conversations you guys have had, in the
I'm
last...
afraid that our affair wouldn't be discovered. And to forgive us for our, before our wrongful, sinful adultery and
Murder.
never did he. In fact, he prayed, "I'm not a murderer, God."
Okay. How about Psalm 51? He told you about that, right? When he prayed for forgiveness for his bloodshed. Remember that? He talked about that?
For his bloodshed.
I think you were actually talking over him when he was talking about that. Because you guys do that a lot. You'll be talking and then he talks and you guys talk over each other. And then he prayed that God would forgive him for his bloodshed. I don't think you heard it. If you did or you didn't, you don't remember hearing that?
No. I remember talking about out of the book of Psalms, and David. I remember him telling me that about David. And I know a little bit, and I was reading Psalms, but just
I'm going to go to the restroom. You want to go to the restroom quick?
Sure.
Or you get a female for it. I can't go to the restroom with you.
okay. I'm sorry.
Sabrina, he said you need to search for him.
Sorry.
That's fine.
was relating it to murder, not an affair. You know what I mean? Let's talk about last week when we met. You leave here. You talked to him on the phone with your sister in the car. Still a little bit. You're not letting your sister know a whole lot. I understand. And then there was another conversation you had with him after you and I spoke. And you called him and said, "Hey, we're good. I'll call you in a little bit." Remember that?
I mean, I don't know about the calling in a little bit, what that part was about, but I just felt like I was just worried about phone records. I thought if you were gonna, I seriously thought we were getting arrested for an affair, and I know that sounds retarded, but it's like, well, what do they have really besides phone records? Okay, well, you know, I would go back and forth, but then I just felt so, I felt guilty, you know, for the affair and Rob being gone, you know. But then hearing it out loud, doesn't even,
I'm sorry?
hearing it out loud, it doesn't even,
Sounds retarded, right?
doesn't make sense. But
Also, you guys had a conversation about me too. Remember the conversation? Well, lots of them. I mean, I came out there almost every conversation you guys have. Right?
yeah, I didn't realize that he was like, I never had said your first name, or I don't believe. And he looked in, you know, kind of just checking you out. And
How did you do that?
you know, I guess the computer. I don't know.
Basically.
Not good. I'm not good on any. I don't do any of that stuff a whole lot. But so you got, and I was like, so I just kind of felt like he was doing homework for us for the affair. So Detective Meyer wasn't going to.
It's by the book. Very precise.
Cookie cutter or something. I don't know, black and white.
So you got that from where?
I guess from the internet. I mean, he didn't tell me where he got it from. He just said he researched. Another thing too, he mentioned is an attorney. That's why he said it. You know, like, you know, you feel uncomfortable or whatever, just ask for an attorney. You know, and so I've never done this before.
And you.
And I felt overwhelmed and just think like, well, maybe I should, just so I don't say something wrong. Because I mean, I'm
What are you guilty of?
not an affair, having an affair.
So why would you be afraid of saying something wrong? If you know that you can't be arrested for an affair, then what would make you think that you're going to get in trouble?
I didn't want to put out there. I thought that in my head that that's what I was running from. Like, I don't want you to find out that there's been an affair in prior, you know,
I mean,
lifestyle.
husband is killed and I'm worried about covering up an affair. There's bigger things than having an affair. That's murder, right? I mean, at that point in time, I'd be like, here's all my cards. I'm not doing anything wrong except having an affair. You should have looked at that motherfucker. That's what I would have said.
My mind has not thought that big like that.
Yeah, I mean,
It hasn't. It honestly hasn't. It's like,
I think all bets are off. Once somebody gets killed, murdered, shot, no more, not coming back. Kids with no father. Fuck the affair. Who cares?
yeah, well now.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would have been like, I need to talk to you. I got to tell you about this affair. I didn't do anything wrong except having an affair.
There were
But
a
you
couple
need
of
to talk
days
to
where I had it so heavy on my heart. Just,
But you never said anything. I asked you dozens of times, do you have any information for me? Do you have anything else you'd like to tell me?
I know I'm thinking outside of my affair. And
Oh no, I'm thinking about, tell me anything. You know?
well, it was weighing heavy on me a couple times, and I did want to talk to you.
But you didn't. But
I did.
how do you expect somebody to diligently be working to solve the murder of your husband?
Because I didn't suspect Jonathan.
But you told me earlier that you did at some point.
Yeah, but it wasn't like at the beginning. This is coming down to these photos and some of the things that have been said recently.
What's been said recently?
Just, it could be me on the video. It could just discussion like that in the past probably month, maybe 2 weeks.
How about when I talk to you, I can check and see if there's a text or a phone call. As soon as we get off the phone, you pick up your burner phone, you immediately call Jonathan, call me from the station, and you hang up.
This was just yesterday.
Yeah. What do you think about that? Tell me about that. Why would you do that?
Because of the John. I was like, who would somebody, do you know somebody that would? There was a tip line, and then I'm just like, or maybe, is it a John? Like a random, is it John, or is it John, you?
So why would you have him call you from the station phone?
Because I was worried, like, thinking, I don't know, you guys were,
Taking the phone path?
I was thinking maybe someone's listening, I don't know, it's just I felt freaked out, like, I did.
How do you
And I
think
kind
that?
of was, like, but
You kind of
it
were
wasn't you, right, and these, I let him know that what I saw, and I let him know, when we had conversations, and that he might call me back, and he said, just to not, let you guys keep poking at me for,
So, that to me is very suspicious. For you to quickly call him on your burner phone after we get off the phone, like seconds after we get off the phone. Call me on the station phone. And then, you hear a clicking noise, thinking that we're listening to your call. It turns out it's from the station. Apparently they make a clicking noise when you're talking on the phone. That's very suspicious. more than just trying to conceal an affair. That's it. To me, that's suspicious until, every detective around here.
Yeah, well, I could see where that would be suspicious.
Just,
That's how I felt. I seriously felt like, yeah, I felt like this affair was way, but yet I continued. There's really no explanation for my behavior as far as that goes. Like, now that I see it like this, it's almost like talking and kind of continuing. I didn't know what was going to happen after. I didn't know what was going to happen.
what do you think Jonathan's going to tell me?
I have no idea what he's going to tell me.
He's on his way here right now. What do you think he's going to say? Apparently he told one of the other detectives that he wanted to talk to me. What's he going to tell me about you?
Me? I have no idea what he's going to tell me about me.
You want me to give you an idea of probably what he's going to tell me?
What?
That you set this up and planned this? That's probably what he's going to tell me.
I can't imagine that. I can't
No?
imagine him saying that. No.
Why not? Because he loves you? Because he's a man of God, but he's having an affair with a married woman?
No, not because of those things, because I didn't set it up, and because I can't imagine him saying that.
I'm kind of curious what he's going to tell me too. If he's going to tell me that you planned this whole thing because you know that if your husband's working for the railroad at the time when the railroad is on duty and he gets killed on duty, that there's a lot of motivator there for money. $300,000 life insurance plus another $50,000, plus the possibility of the railroad coming in and going,
No.
hey, we can pay you off.
Detective Randall Roberts, I don't care about money. Money, I can't even tell you how I don't care about money.
If I was in your shoes right now, I would care about money either. I would care about my survival. Not going to prison for the rest of my life. That's what I would care about.
Yeah, of course.
I don't give a shit about money. That's why I work. I'm a cop. I don't care about money. It's money. It does make the world go round, but it's not everything.
It's not everything.
So,
We had talked about, just Robert being murdered at work. Like how, why would that happen?
and you can see the way this looks really bad because you have an affair.
Yeah.
You have a motivator for money. Right? This looks terrible. There's a murder, continuing affair, and people lying to conceal the affair and to conceal the murder.
Yeah. I can see how that looks really, really bad.
Mm-hmm. So what's Jonathan going to tell me?
I have no idea what he's going to tell you.
Because apparently he hasn't asked for a lawyer. He wants to talk to me. You know what usually happens in these cases? One person tells me that, in this case, Jonathan's going to tell me that you started all this and you talked him into it. You know what I mean? That's what he's probably that's probably what he's going to say. He's probably going to tell me that.
I can't, well, that wouldn't be true.
He's lied before.
I can't imagine.
He's lied about.
I can't imagine him saying, I
the motorcycle. He's lied about talking to Robert 3 other times before the murder. He lied about murdering Robert, driving over there to Tashkeen, committing the murder.
He talked to Robert 3 others.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
yeah. He's a liar. But he thinks it's okay to lie because he's forgiven for his sins. He'll repent for the sins he's committed. He thinks it's going to be okay. No. It's not okay. You can't just go out and commit a murder and just think that you're doing God's work. You know, think that I'm doing the work of God because He wants me to save her from her sins. And then think it's okay. And that's what he thinks. And I'm wondering what he's going to tell me.
I can't even believe.
So, we're kind of not getting anywhere. I mean, we've gone over this stuff over and over and over. And I need some more information from you. I need to know some stuff. You need to tell me. I'm serious. You guys are telling me some shit because I don't have enough there. Let's talk about his VoIP phone he got.
A what?
Voice over Internet Protocol.
What's that?
Well, he called you on a number that gave you a heart attack. The 661 area code number.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, you almost gave me a heart attack. So why would he go to the extent of getting a phone that we couldn't track, or if he thinks we couldn't track, and thinks we
On
wouldn't be able
the
to?
internet phone.
Yeah, why would he do that? For an affair. It's all about the murder. Seriously, that's what this is all about. It's not about the affair. The affair is nothing. It's about concealing everything for the murder. So why would he go get the voice phone?
I didn't know that he had that until he called from that.
And you were tripping out, huh?
Yeah, I was a 6. I was like,
Oh my
Detective
God.
Meyer has the burner phone for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I had the burner phone. Long time ago.
I never said you weren't a good detective.
Well, I think you did say a few things. I don't remember exactly, but you did talk about me.
It wasn't bad. I
So let me explain to you, because we honestly, we're kind of spinning our wheels. We're just kind of going over stuff. No, we're not giving you any information right.
Okay.
Okay? I need to get some hard information from you. I need you to tell me the
You're
truth.
giving me the hard information.
I've given you a lot of it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, this is, I have books and books and books and books of evidence on this whole thing. I mean, I can stack the books up and they would stand as tall as you on all the evidence I've collected during this last 3 months in one day. Tons of it. You need to be honest with me. Because he's going to tell me. He's going to tell me exactly what happened.
Well, good.
Because you know why? Because he has to. He has to tell somebody this. He's going to have to tell me what happened. For his conscience, he's curious, right? Even minds are curious. They want to know, what evidence do you have to show that I did this? All of our minds are curious. And he is going to What did you tell him? But what I'm wondering is what he's going to tell me about you.
I know.
Okay. Why would you tell him where Robert worked at?
That was a long time ago.
Like how long?
Like probably a long time ago. Half of a year ago or so.
Why specifically would you tell him that there's a building in Tehachapi?
We talked about Tehachapi, and
It's right off the freeway.
he's asked me.
He's asked you, what do you think he asked you?
I don't know, like it was in conversation, like literally. In conversation
Okay.
of where Robert works and just kind of like,
You know why he was doing that? Because he was planning and preparing so he could be with you forever. He's planning this out. He was making this plan up in his head. He had a lot of pre-planning done. Like driving up there, checking it out. Going there on his motorcycle, checks it out, finds out how much fuel he needs to make it there and back. Which points are at, where he's going to stop at. This is a plan. He had a master plan. So that's why he talks about it. And that's why he had questions for you. Where's this place at? But I'm wondering why would you even tell? I mean, it's your husband's place of business. Why would you specifically tell him that it's a business route for freeway in Tehachapi? That's what he works at.
I don't know why
It's
I
crazy.
told him that. It was in conversation. I don't know.
You know what? I think if you would have never told him that, he would have never been able to find it. Because it's not on the map. You can't Google it and find it. I tried. He would have never ever known where that BNSF shop was at if you wouldn't have told him. He would have not known where to go. You know what I mean?
Tell him.
Yeah, why? That's what I'm wondering. I need more information from you. I need you to tell me, why would you give that information to him?
Trying to think of how even a conversation.
Did you guys have any specific conversations before the murder, before the day of the murder? A couple of days before about him maybe going on a ride on his motorcycle?
I want to say no.
No? You want to say no?
No.
Okay. But he did mention that he could be with you, you guys could be together and live in my car battery's dead. He did mention to you that you guys could be together and live for God, right? Remember talking about that a bazillion times?
Yeah.
So you didn't think by him saying that maybe that he had intentions on maybe removing Rob from the picture?
No.
Why would you not think that?
Because we'd spoken of divorce. You know, like that was kind of, and we were just like living, you know, just living in our I was just living a double life, you know. And I did not know.
So you know that we have possibly heard some conversations you guys have had in your house too, right?
Yeah.
You want to tell me about some of those?
How'd you do that? It's all detective work. Oh gosh. watching us kind of thing, you know. Living life, God has a purpose, and through this, God's had a plan for all of our lives, and
I don't think that in this master plan was the whole learn about having created.
how old is she?
She was 14. She was 15 next week.
What does she want?
Huh?
What does she want right now?
She wanted a laptop. Give me a second.
Okay. I'm sorry, just open there.
We're actually going to take a break here. Get something to eat or something. I'm freaking starving too. I haven't eaten all day. Drink a lot, bro? There's some else.
Right, the record reflect people's aid. Thank for the jury, got a copy of 88, Mr. Smith.
Thank you. Detective Meyer, during that interview, you left multiple times some dead spots in the recording. What were you doing at that time?
There were several moments where I left the room, basically to speak with other investigators who had been working with me on the case. There was a room pretty close to the room that I was interviewing Sabrina in, and they could watch a live feed of what was going on. So I would go meet with them really quickly to find out if there's anything else that we needed to touch bases on. At that point, through the investigation, I was trying to give her an opportunity to give me some more information and provide some truth.
And then at the end of People's 80, you moved Miss Limon to another location?
Yes, at the very end of that portion of the interview, at that point, Jonathan Hearn was present at headquarters, so I moved Miss Limon to a separate room we have that has a table, a couch, and stuff, while we could speak with Mr. Hearn.
Okay. You mentioned towards the end of People's 80, you kept saying, I wonder what Jonathan's going to say. Did you receive any information from Jonathan Hearn that day?
No, we did not. At that point, he decided he did not want to talk to the investigators.
And you said that you moved Miss Limon to another room?
Yes, sir.
That room, does it have the same capabilities of audio and visual recording?
That room does not. It's more of a soft room. Like I said, there's a couch in there, a table, some chairs, and that room does not have the capabilities with a video or audio recording.
Okay. Was further continuation of the interview with Ms. Limon, did it occur at the same location later on after your contact with Mr. Hearn?
Yes, after we had a chance to speak with Mr. Hearn briefly, we then moved Sabrina back into the interview room 1 to finish the interview.
Alright. So did you think about anything else that would be important? Anything else? No? What's your social security number? And what city were you born? I'm still. You were born last time?
This is me below is on Goodwick Street, about the time of the murder. So this is
3 minutes after the murder occurred.
after.
That's Jonathan driving away from the scene. From the place on Goodrick, where the shop's at,
That's good. Okay.
takes an hour to get to the pilot. And this is 1 hour later. On August, I think it was the 8th, Jonathan, he bought these clothes he was wearing at a Goodwill in San Bernardino. Shoes, pants, jacket, shirt. We found the receipt. My partner's talking to Jonathan right now. I don't know what he's telling. So I told my partner that once he gets done talking to her, like, at a point where you take a break to come in and everybody some information so we can figure out what he's saying. I don't know what he's telling. He told me he had a bunch of stuff to tell them, so I can't imagine what he's telling them.
No idea. He's telling him this?
Huh?
Is he telling him?
I don't know, he's gonna come and talk to me, and he'll come in and talk to us real quick. We'll understand exactly what's going on. I mean, I can't imagine that, it's hard for me to imagine that, honestly, that you didn't know this was going on. You know what I mean? With all this talk on the phones, in your guys' house, getting a burner phone, it's hard for me to believe that you didn't have knowledge of it, that you know you hadn't talked about it. I mean, it's yeah. So you're saying that you don't know, that you didn't understand it, but it's very hard to believe, you know what I mean?
I understand that it would be, and now that I'm looking at it outside of,
What I'm looking at.
yeah. What you're looking at. I'm talking to Patrick, like, I saw it, like, oh my gosh,
think's going to happen to you right now?
What did you do?
I mean, with all this, everything, I mean, you think that you think you're going to be able to see your kids again?
I hope so. Yeah, this is detective. It's a nightmare. He said I gave him that. Told him about what worked.
How do you think Robert felt? His mom rushed my son to be, this guy's got a gun in his hand. You know what I mean? Can you imagine? I thought about it a lot. Like what was going through his mind, how was his heart racing? He's scared. He's thinking about his kids, his wife. This guy's trying to murder him. For what? So he could have his life. This guy wanted Robert's life. This guy murders him in cold blood. Probably like, how do you think Robert felt? I mean, he had to be fucking scared. You know what I mean?
I just wanted to know if he suffered. He said he didn't suffer. I didn't know details of.
Man, I really don't know. I know that where you're a child was horrible. But you don't know what he's going through. 1 second, everything is cool. You're bending down, getting rid of the water. Next second, you're fighting for your life. Fighting for your life. This guy's gonna fucking kill you.
He was struggling.
Yeah, they're fighting over the gun. And then pow, the gun goes off. And then what are you thinking? You start thinking about your life. You know? Your kids and all that shit. You know what I mean? Nobody knows what Rob was thinking, but we can speculate, you know? He's thinking, oh my god, I gotta get this gun from this guy. You know what I mean? Give me something. Give me something that's good. I need to know. I need some information.
You have all the information right here. You have it all.
But you can see from my point of view, I don't have all the information. You know what I mean? This looks horrible.
You know it
This
does.
guy gets fucking killed. And yeah, this guy murders him because he wants his life. It's the bottom line. This guy wants his life.
And I gave him the access.
You did. You told him where your husband worked at. When he would be working, where the shop was, where Maisie worked, and you told him that he was going to be gone and you guys could maybe hook up. He had other plans. He wasn't planning on hooking up with you. He was planning on taking that stroll at you like he had done before. You know? You had it planned out, you had it timed out, you knew how long it would take, you knew how much gas he would need, he paid cash. He paid cash for the stuff he bought, because he knew. This is one of my partners, Detective Brewer.
How you doing? Kevin Brewer.
Hi, Kevin.
He was talking with John.
Yeah, and we're talking about
John.
John. I got a couple of questions for you. That might be good.
So he is he's made this plan. So you think that, I mean, you tell him that, hey, Robert
Mark's gonna be gone, he'll be at work, it'll be a 12-hour shift, maybe we can come over, we can hang out, and he's thinking, today's the day. I'm gonna take that drive. I'm gonna go take care of business so I can be with her. I can have her and her family, her kids. The saddest thing is for the kids. Horrible. Because they lost their dad. And he was a good dad. Terrible.
Right. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's my fault.
Sabrina, after talking to Jonathan and looking at this, I mean, I helped him with this case for a long time. It looks like there's two people involved. Did you? I don't think you pulled the trigger, did you?
No.
Jonathan did. When did he tell you there was him in that video?
Yesterday.
When?
Yesterday?
When did he tell you before that?
No.
What did you tell? He told you that's him in the video.
Well, he hadn't seen the video, but he said it could be me. He said
What? How could that be? I'm confused here.
we just talked a bunch about, he's just said that, detectives can say and do anything that they want.
Did you ask him how that could be him in that video?
I did.
What did he say?
He said that it could be a picture of him at another gas station.
You asked him what he was doing in that gas station? Halfway to where your husband was murdered?
From what how I took it was like another gas station, another place. And I said, why would they want to do that? Why would they want to put?
Did you see the picture of Jonathan on the motorcycle?
Yeah, it's right there.
Do you have any trouble figuring out that's Jonathan? Because frankly, everybody else that knows him has seen it. I mean, you have to know it. We floated that to them. They've all had no problem with it. And I think you would know him more than any of them, really.
Yeah.
Do you have any problem with that, picking that out of Jonathan?
No.
Do you know anybody else that looks like that has a motorcycle like that would have a reason to kill your husband?
No.
Who else could it be?
No, that's okay. Maybe something else.
Hey, frankly, Sabrina, I've sitting on a lot of wiretaps, and I know we've been listening to for a while.
Yeah.
I've sitting on a bunch of 33 years in New England. And I can tell you the conversation between you two is not cover heaven affair.
Well, that's what I've.
You've already told people about your affair long before this. There was no reason to keep this a secret. Keep it from who?
I haven't told anybody.
Yes, you have.
Who did I tell?
You told people, and so has Jonathan. What? At what
Said
point,
not knowing
at
that,
what
but
point
not-
did you think we knew about Jonathan? How do you think we found out about Jonathan?
Phone records.
From what?
From phone records.
No, we have to have probable cause to get search warrants to get the phone records. He told people about you. He's been told to stay away from you, and you know that. We've been listening to you guys for a while, Sabrina. And I know Detective Meyer is trying his best to get you to tell us the truth. And you have to know that. John was arrested the same time you were. We just got him done going to jail. There's a great many questions that we need to have you answer for us. Okay? Tell me what I think. When your secret boyfriend finds out exactly where your husband is in a different county, 2.5 hours away, drives up here and kills him. What do I think? How in the world would he find out where where that place is. I couldn't even find it when they sent us there.
That's my fault.
Absolutely. What's it look like to me?
You know,
Let me tell you what it looked like to a jury. This is all I do. It's all I've been doing for many years. Let me tell you what a jury's going to think. The same thing I am right now and the same thing you are. We got some problems. You need to tell me why you're not an accomplice to this murder.
Why am I not?
Yeah.
Because I would never want Robert dead. I would never want him dead. Ever.
Yes, you did. You guys have been talking for weeks and weeks about how this is God's will. That you guys get together and marry. It's all God's will. It's almost every conversation of every day about how killing your husband and you two getting together is God's will. Bathsheba. Did we talk about that?
They had said,
Well, tell me that story. Tell me the story
I
of
don't
David and
know.
Bathsheba.
I don't know that. I don't know it.
You don't know that story? He says that's our life, and you went yes.
Well, whatever I read,
You don't remember?
no, I don't
He
remember.
takes another man's wife that has his husband murdered, had her husband murdered, killed. There's a little other around here. It sounds to me like the woman fell in love with another man and had her husband killed.
I would never want Robert killed, ever.
Why did you tell him where Robert's at?
I was going to see him, and I would tell him when Robert was working and stuff, and
Why weren't you so worried about the DNA stuff he found?
I thought that was good. The
No,
DNA.
no, that's not what the conversations are. No,
Well, the DNA was
no,
a good
no,
thing.
it's panic. Hey,
No.
I can read a few of them to you. It's not.
Yeah. Well,
You talk about how good it is after you figure out we're probably listening to you. Before that, it's all panic, which is exactly why we told you that. Okay?
I just didn't want to be publicized as
No,
having
you
a
two have already, both of you have already told people about this affair. Why keep it from us? We knew about it from the minute. He's got 500 of your phone calls on his thing every day. You think we're not going to know?
I thought that I didn't know. I was worried about that. I know. It doesn't look bad. I know how bad. I know that it looks bad, but
I think his past looked bad.
no, I get it.
It looked bad for a while, and then it got bad. Because we thought the other stuff that you have to know, we can't tell you all of this. The thing's got to get prosecuted. Okay? But it looked bad for a while, and then it just got bad. And I think it's because it is bad. Okay?
It's bad.
All we talk about is this, we have to stop sinning, and you guys are still together. I'm confused with these calls. I really am. Do you think God meant for you and Jonathan to be together? Is that what you guys are talking about? When you're praying that the DNA doesn't let us find out? Would you want me to read that one to you?
I get it.
You're praying that the DNA doesn't let us find out. Find out what? If his DNA is at the scene of the murder, what am I going to find out? That you two were laying around together? I'll find out that Jonathan killed you. We already knew that. We had those motorcycle pictures long before you know. Okay? And we had somebody call us and say, you need to look at this guy right here. Months ago, not weeks. Because he's calling us up, trying to apologize for something, and we haven't figured out what he did. But he keeps crying and apologizing. Okay?
Get it.
Where's his tailpipe?
I have no idea.
He didn't tell you what he did with his tailpipe?
No, I didn't even know that he.
You notice he got a different pipe on the bike?
Louder. The exhaust is louder, it sounds louder.
I'll be honest, I don't pay attention to any of that kind of stuff. I just know the writing on the bike. That's all I know.
Yesterday, when I told you that tip came in and we had a John. How come you gave me two different John's names?
Because that was John. Those were the Johns that Rob worked with.
Why wouldn't you just tell me then? I mean, you had to know that shit's hitting the fan.
Yeah, I felt like, oh, Jonathan, okay.
Why wouldn't you tell me? Here's the deal. It's not just about an affair. Your husband was murdered. That's more important than this freaking affair you guys are having. You know what I mean? Here's another thing. I can tell you, I don't care where the hell I was at. Day, night, whatever. If my wife was murdered, I would be standing at that fucking scene, finding out why and what, giving some answers. And you didn't even come out there.
He told us that we weren't allowed to.
I don't care if they told me I couldn't go out there. I would be there, standing there, saying,
Oh, I wanted
tell
to.
me something. You didn't? I don't care if they tell me I couldn't. You're going to tell me that I can't drive a fucking catastrophe? It's a free world, I'm going to go where I want to go. And I'm going to go there and I'm going to talk to whoever to find out what's going on. That's suspicious to me, too. And I know you're having an affair, you're living two...
I wanted to come up, but
You're living two different lives and stuff, like you said.
they said it was all roped off and they won't let anybody
Oh,
out.
I would show up and get my way to that crime scene. Find out what the hell happened to my wife.
God has a purpose. Sees all, He does. Knows all, He does. He has a purpose for us in our marriage. He even knew that Rob was going to get killed. When he told you that's him in the video, why were you not burning his phone up to tell you, I found out who killed my husband?
I mean, you said it looked like him.
Because your relationship with Jonathan is more important than your husband was.
No.
You should have been tearing his phone up. Jonathan just told me that's him in the video. Okay? Why didn't we get that call?
I asked him, I said, what
And you don't need to ask him anything. Tell me why you didn't call us.
He said it could have been planned, like it could have
No,
been.
there's no could. Okay? That's not, it's a glass of water. It's not a house. It's not a car. I can't tell you that, well, that could be a chair. It's a glass of water. That could be me in the video. What do you mean it could be you? It either is or is not. And if he's in the video, that's the video of the suspect. We all know that. You know that, don't you? That guy in that video walked into the place where your husband was and killed him and then ran off. And he tells you that could be me in the video. What did you think? I'm more than confused here, Sabrina. I'm really telling you. I think you're flat in the middle of this murder. I think he's such a husband. I've had him killed by Jonathan, so you two can be together.
No.
I can tell you that's not going to happen, ever.
No,
Okay? You need to get that through your head now. You are not going to be together. You're going to end up going to prison for the rest of his life. And I've got some serious doubts about you. Okay?
Okay, understood.
There's no reason to tell your boyfriend exactly where your husband is working. Absolutely none. Right down to the building. What's the purpose? There can only be one.
No.
Tell me another one. I'm waiting. Tell me why you would tell him exactly where Rob's at. You can't find that place by accident. We knew somebody told him. Okay? And I'll be honest with you, from day one, when he told me about I wasn't there to murder, he come back and told me. So we got a problem. It's a long time of the day for somebody to get burglarized. And burglars don't just shoot people for no reason. Okay? Something else went on. It was all fishy looking. It was real fishy to me. I said, somebody has got a relationship. We better start looking at it. I was 3 or 4 days after the murder before we knew anything. Okay? Because this whole thing stunk to me from day one. Somebody told somebody where that guy was at. You can't just find him. There's not anything to take in that place anyway. All those businesses next door have got tons of stuff that you could sell. Not that place. Tools. That's it. Train repair crap. You can't sell that. He told you that could be me in the video. That should have been the end of it right there.
And then I told you that was our suspect, and you didn't say anything. You know what I mean? I said, this is our suspect. No, okay. Gigs up. That's Jonathan Hearn. You didn't tell me anything.
I should have told you that,
You
but
should have.
the black helmet, I didn't.
He never
even
told you
see.
it was him in the video, Sabrina. You already knew it. Okay? He didn't tell you that. You already knew it. You know dang well it's him. You know how he walks. That was my brother in that video. I'd peg him in a minute. You know. And when we put the picture of Jonathan on his bike down in front of you, you don't need to sit and stare at it for 15 minutes. You knew exactly who it was. And you should have said it. It's Jonathan, and it's Jonathan's bike. Everybody else did. Why couldn't you say it? You knew it was him. You knew it was him on his bike. You know exactly where the picture's taken.
Where it's taken?
Yeah, it's taken about 300 feet from where your husband's killed. He's leaving right after he kills him. Okay? He told you he did this, and he told you because you guys wanted to be, he wants to be with you. You need to tell us now. If not, all we're left to think with.
Mr. Smith, stop the 81A on page 18. We'll take our and recess there 15 minutes. Remember not to form or express any opinion or discuss the case. Mr. Smith, if you'd like to continue. We left off with 81, page 18.
Did you set this whole thing up? If he went and did something stupid, okay, you need to tell us now.
Well, you have it right there.
I don't have it. I want it out of your mouth because we've not got any truth out of your mouth. And if I don't start getting something, I told you I'm left to believe exactly what I really believe. Somebody told him where Rob was, exactly where Rob was, and we were going to kill him. And you know, if we've been listening to what you guys have been talking about for weeks and weeks, what we've done. Okay?
Yeah, I understand.
And you come down here and he purposely tells you we haven't got nothing just to see what you'll say, and you burn up the phone. They ain't got nothing. Okay? We're okay. They ain't got nothing. What's it sound like? What will it sound like?
Well, he did say that yesterday. I don't.
At what point did he tell you he shot Rob? And don't tell me he didn't. I know better.
He said that was him yesterday.
No. 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 I ain't gonna cut it. Hey?
He never said he
You
shot
think
him.
about 6 or 7 old ladies sitting on that jury, and this guy says, that's me in the video. Huh? And they said, what happened? I don't know. She didn't come. She still, it took us, 15 minutes into an interview to get her to say that. She didn't call us. Okay? And the prosecutor says, folks, that's how much she cares about the husband. Okay? Her new boyfriend killed him, and she don't even care. And what will your kids think when they find out? And the whole world is going to find out in the next 3 days because all this paperwork goes public. Not a thing we do about it. Okay? All kinds of stuff. Phone calls, everything. You want people hearing some of that stuff without explaining some of this stuff to us?
No.
Tell me when he told you he killed your husband. Because he did and he told you. Okay? Or you knew it already. If he didn't tell you, you knew it already. And you knew it before he did it.
I didn't know.
Then how did he find out where your husband is to go kill him?
It's my fault.
Yes, absolutely. You're absolutely right. Yes. When he asks about where your husband is, what do you think he's asking for? Go buy him a milkshake, say, hi, I'm doing your wife. But what do you think he's going to do? When did he tell you? You're not going to get another shot at this, I'm telling you. We're going to leave here in a minute, and we're not going to talk to you again. You'll want to, but your attorney won't let you, and it's too late. I won't talk to you, really. We're done. We will take what we have and go with it. You wouldn't be here if we didn't have it done. Okay? Sabrina, if you did something, you don't want to tell us, you've got to now. You understand?
I understand.
If he didn't, if you never intended for him to go do this, and he went and did it, and you didn't plan this, and you had things, and you get scared because he's done it, you think you're wrapped up, I can understand that. I've had a lot of people in these situations, a lot. Bunches of them. Little girls that drive people, little youngsters to all, but I didn't know they were going to go in there and kill people. It happens, okay?
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that you're in the middle of this, plotted it, planned it, or anything else. He may have went off and done something stupid on his own. But don't tell me you didn't know, because we know you did. This has been nothing but cover up. Oh my God, I hope they don't. God wants it to be together. I hope the DNA doesn't. Okay? That's got nothing to do with this affair. What the DNA got to do with you two being together. And how are we going to find out that you two are right if all we have is his DNA?
Yeah.
Okay? His DNA at the scene means only one thing. That's a suspect.
Yeah. I understand that.
Did you plan to kill Rob?
No. Oh my God, no.
When did Jonathan tell you to get it? Don't tell me yesterday again.
He never came
did.
out and
Yes, he
said.
did. Yes, he did. You guys are doing nothing but hiding this thing the whole time. Yes, he did.
No.
Well, what are you trying to hide?
I know. I know it doesn't look good.
No. There's a difference between doesn't look good and absolutely is not good. This is absolutely not good.
I understand that.
Okay?
I understand that. He never told me that he was going up there that day. I had told him where Robert.
Why? We're still back to that one, and I'm still sitting here waiting for a reason why you would tell Jonathan where your husband is. Are you going to come up with some answer between now and trial time?
They're going to see each other. So you can talk to him.
About what?
That's why.
About what? What's he going to say? I got to know. I'm sending my boyfriend to talk to my husband.
No, he never said he was.
What did you think he was going to do if he's asking about where Rob's at?
He didn't ask that day.
Why did you tell him?
I had told him, like, prior in conversations.
Why?
He'd asked,
Why?
I believe,
Just-
about Tehachapi. Like, we just talked about, like, what Rob did and just talked.
He didn't know what Rob did?
Yeah, but up in Tehachapi as a responder.
Okay, so why is it important for anybody in the world, really, to know exactly where Rob's at?
Well, from your now on the other side, I don't know. He shouldn't have. And I shouldn't have it.
When you told him exactly where Rob was at, and Rob ends up getting killed, did you put two and two together at all?
Not at first. I was in shock. I couldn't believe what I heard. I couldn't believe that it happened. I didn't know what happened. I didn't know why.
You didn't figure out, gee, I just told Jonathan, who wants to be with me forever, does not want me to be with my husband. Come back and say, exactly where my husband's at, and now my husband gets killed in the middle of a Sunday afternoon in broad daylight.
No, I didn't.
That didn't dawn on you?
I didn't think of him. No, I didn't. I thought I couldn't believe Rob was gone, and I thought about our affair, and I felt I can't describe how I felt.
Okay, tell me anybody else in the world that have a reason, besides Jonathan, to kill your husband. Anybody. Has he owe money? Is he in the Russian mafia? Has he beat up people? An alleged rapist or anything at all? So who has the only motive that you know of to kill your husband?
The only thing I thought it was,
What did Jonathan have to gain if he killed Rob? What's the prize? You. Correct? And he has you all to himself. Is that correct? And he gets killed after you tell him where he's at, and you don't put it together. I don't think you're that dumb, Sabrina. I really don't. No one's going to. They were back to you have him killed.
no.
Because if Jonathan, if you don't suspect it, and at some point Jonathan's got to tell him. Okay? Did you ask him, hey Jonathan, don't you think it's odd that after I tell you where he's at, somebody goes over there and kills him? For no apparent reason?
I did say.
And?
I did
What was the
have
answer?
questions.
What did he say? Oh no, I didn't?
And he just said, that's crazy.
And you believe him? Enough to stay with him, you did. But make future plans. Start talking about how you're going to raise Rob's children with him.
You know, Kevin. You know. I believe it.
Jonathan ever tell you about the handguns he owns? How many?
I just knew that he had one gun.
Talking about a 45 again? 45 caliber?
I didn't know what kind it was.
And he's got one and it's missing. Nobody can find it. Wonder where that's at. Same caliber used to kill your husband. The only thing worse than keeping the murder weapon is getting rid of it when it's registered to you. Not being able to tell us where it's at. Oops, I lost it. Oops, I don't know where it's at. Oh, I forgot where I put it.
That's what he said.
You know what I mean? You know how stupid that sounds? But seriously, that's almost as believable as I told him exactly where he was at, and he ends up dead in that spot, and I don't think this guy killed him. Did you tell anybody else exactly where Rob was at that day?
Well, yeah, I mean, beaten into atrophy, you know. I didn't tell Jonathan, like, directions that day. It was prior, like we talked about.
How did you find him?
Months. It was months. I'd say probably months prior. And I want to remember how exactly that conversation went.
So how did Jonathan know he's there that day?
I had told him,
You told him Jonathan's attached.
Robert isn't.
Robert's attached, working. And that day he gets murdered. And you don't figure that out.
I had talked to Jonathan.
And you don't bother to tell him or anyone else. By the way, the day my husband is murdered, I told my boyfriend where he was. What's it sound like? What's it going to sound like, Sabrina?
I understand that.
I can go on and on with this thing, and that's going to happen at the trial. But I'm not going on much longer. The rest of it should be one year later, and probably not one we should have, ever. Okay? If you have any part of this thing, and we all think you did, you wouldn't be here. You need to start figuring out how to convince us that you did it now. I told you, he did something stupid, and you didn't know he did it, and you had nothing to do with planning it. Okay? And he says, sorry, honey, I had to do this for us to be together. Whatever he did, whatever he told you, you need to tell us now.
I
Okay?
understand.
If you're going to stick to this, yesterday he finally told me he killed my husband. Basically.
Well, these conversations have been the same, you know, since.
No, they haven't. No, they change drastically all the time. The only major theme is God wants you two to be together, according to Him. And God sees everything and knows everything. What did God see the day Rob got killed? Same thing we saw. His motorcycle, Jonathan's motorcycle leaving the crime scene. Okay? I mean, who does he think he's fooling? Who are you guys fooling here? I don't get it. He tells you that you and Kim are David and Bathsheba's story, and you agree.
I didn't.
You'll hear that again, trust me. That one was almost unbelievable for me, because that's exactly what happened. Exactly. Now, for us to be together, one spouse has got to be out of the picture permanently. Now, why divorce was an option, I don't know.
Divorce would have been an option for me, not murder.
Well, then why did it get to this? Was it not an option and that didn't go over well with Jonathan? That's what it sounds like. I've had a few of those. See, if you won't divorce him, I'll get rid of him for you.
Yeah.
No. I think yes.
I understand.
If you won't divorce him, then Jonathan's got to go to Plan B. Doesn't he? I mean, Jonathan's got to know where he's at, and he got that out of you. And frankly, I could sit here for 2 or 3 hours, and I don't think you'd ever explain that one. There's only one explanation for that one. Just exactly what I'm thinking. What are you thinking? What everybody else outside is thinking. Okay? Don't think exactly what it is, and you're not going to do exactly what you guys plan to do. Killed your husband. Shot him straight in the face. Okay? Tell me what Rob deserved that. Tell me what Rob's children done to have their dad taken away by your boyfriend. Tell me. What did they do? And who suffers? Huh? You don't. They do. Their whole life. They want their dad back. And who took them? And who helped them take it? What are they going to think? Trust me, Sabrina, I've never talked to anybody yet that thought they wouldn't get away with it, or you wouldn't do it. Everybody does. It's all well planned. All of it. All of the interviews are rehearsed on the phone with him. Yeah, we listened to them. They were impressive. I'm going to tell you exactly what to say and not say. And we're going to Google DNA and Google all this stuff to make sure that we're not giving them enough information to find out. Okay? But that stuff we already knew. Now, before this thing comes to an end, okay, I'm going to ask you one more time. Did Jonathan tell you he killed your husband?
He never told me that. Just fire it just all led up to all the things that he said. Led up to that. All the conversations. Just not specifically, I shot Rob. He never said that.
What conversation is leading up to what? The murder?
No, not the murder. No, that conversation that day was normal. Besides,
So you're talking about the conversations that happened,
after the murder,
and what were you guys talking about?
just the murder.
Hello. I think that a decision needs to be made right now. You requested this. You wanted to talk to Randall. We're 4 hours into this, and you haven't said anything different to him than what he told me. If you have something you need to say, right now's the time, because otherwise I'm ready to cut this off.
I think you guys, I mean,
You think what?
everything that has been said has been evidence that it's clear. And it's my fault for telling Jonathan where Robert was that day.
And it most certainly is. It is your fault. But, I mean, for the last 4 hours, Detective Myers told you that you're holding on to something. There's something that you know that you're not telling us. Right now, I would have more respect if you said, hey, I ain't gonna say anything to you. You don't like me. I know you don't like me. I'm good with that. You think I'm the mean guy. I get accused of it all the time. But it's time to shit or get off the pot. I mean, okay, let me ask you this. You wanted to speak to him. What did you want to tell him that was so different than what you told me already? Prolong the inevitable? Sitting in a jail cell?
No. I wanted to apologize for not being honest with him. Telling him about our relationship before.
That's the only thing that you want to apologize for, is for not telling us about an affair?
Then it's my fault.
We've established that. And I'm not here to kick you in the teeth. Robert is dead because of you. Make no mistakes about that. That is something that you're going to have to live with for the rest of your life. That is something that your children are going to have to live with for the rest of their lives. No matter what happens now, little Robbie's going to know that Jonathan killed his dad. I told you down there in Boron, I could care less about you. I care about your kids. They didn't ask for this. You're a grown woman. You made decisions. And why you would tell the man, he's not a man, he's a coward. He's a scumbag. Why you would tell the guy that you're sharing a bed with where your husband works, beyond me. If you don't have anything for us, I think we need to get you to jail. I'll take that as a yes, I do not have anything to tell you. Is that pretty fair?
I've said everything that we...
Okay, yeah, you told him the same thing that you told me, only I wasn't patient for 4 hours. I was kind of trying to move it along after about an hour of listening to you tell me nothing. He's a lot nicer than me, a lot more patient. So what I need you to do is I need you to stand up and turn around. Obviously, since you were already brought down here once before, you were told what you're under arrest for, correct?
Yes.
For conspiracy to commit murder and accessory to murder? Okay. Have a seat.
4 hours and 40 minutes.
So 5 hours you managed to tell us nothing. You got a second, sir?
Yep.
help you out, we needed you to sign one of those cards. We didn't have you sign one of those cards. Just put your fingerprints on, so the lady's coming over here so you can sign those.
Okay. Well, Detective Jonathan did it, and you guys have all the evidence.
I'll get it.
You know, and when you sign the cards, you sign this one twice, and you didn't sign that one.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh, okay. He's
Are you right-handed or left-handed?
Right-handed.
I wanted to bring this card over so you could see that it's your signature.
Okay, yeah.
Thanks.
What was your question?
Well, I just don't understand. I mean, if you guys have all the evidence and it's not like he was going to confess it to me. So he did that, you know. He's not going to say those words to me. He didn't know that he was going up to Josh Street that day. Prior, I had told him where Robert had worked. The conversation that we had. I didn't know he was going up to Josh Street that day.
You did. See, you know, you keep saying that. That you can't believe it. Do you?
You always do.
You are? Why is that?
That's what happened.
This whole time, I guess people react differently to stuff. This whole time, you find yourself not being able to believe it. But not once have you showed any anger or disgust, especially since you inserted it into your children's lives. That bothers me. It's not too often I get to see good things at work. But when I saw that video of your son, it impacted me. And through all of this, your children really haven't been a concern to me. it's unfortunate because they definitely deserve better than what you're giving them. And I hope they get it. I hope they do. They deserve a lot more than what they're getting. I wish I would have known them. Definitely under different circumstances. You know, well, I'm spinning my wheels. Let's get you too.
All right, the record reflected People's 81 was placed for the jury, a copy of the transcript.